This is Bruce Boudreau, and it's time for Clay's Canucks commentary live. Let's go with Clay right now.
Hey Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay's Canucks commentary live, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate. I'm Canuck Clay Emo, and this is my Canucks take. All in one take. It's indeed Clay's Canucks commentary. It is Tuesday night, May the 16th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Hope you are doing well. It's a little bit crazy in my house right now as we are getting ready to leave for Ontario tomorrow. Kayla and Jacob and my lovely wife Gail, they fly out tomorrow morning, so they can be there for Thursday morning's practice session, whereas I don't fly out till tomorrow night, the red eye tomorrow night, because I have a day of work, and then I got to finish stuff off at the church as well. It's our last night of religious education classes. So lots going on, but we always make it work, and it just means a short night, especially because after this stream, per usual on Tuesday night, I have to get to my church for my prayer hour. So yeah, a lot going on, but you guys know that I love being active. Moderators, do what you need to do. Thanks in advance. Members, that's Legends, Hall of Fame, and franchise members, thanks for your support as always. And to everyone else, no matter where you're watching from, whether in my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston, Richmond, in the city, Lower Mainland, province, country, continent, or around the world, thank you for being here. You know that you could be watching anyone else, doing anything else, getting ready for work, school, or bed, or a flight, or all four. But if you're here with me, I always appreciate you, and I never take you for granted. So subscribe so you can get active in the chat section and get my videos every day. Like the video, leave a donation like a certain legend just did. I'll get to that in a second. So subscribe, like the video, leave a donation. You can upgrade, become a member. You can upgrade your membership, or you can even gift memberships, which serve as a $5 donation. So let's go and let's recognize first a donation from the legend himself, legendary Lucas Gates. Let's give Lucas some love in the chat. It says like, sub, and become a member. Arizona Coyotes going the way of getting yeeted. Houston, do we have a hockey team? Yes, big news that dropped from Arizona. I will get to that in a few minutes. I want to talk about three things. Thank you very much, Lucas, for the donation. And you can follow Lucas's example and keeping that donation train going. So three things I'm going to talk about quickly tonight. Jonathan Lekaramaki. Going to talk about the Eastern and Western Conference playoffs, the finals, I should say, in the NHL. And then we'll talk about the Arizona Coyotes. And then I'll turn it over to you. First and foremost, did a video about this today. Just a week after Lekaramaki signed his 3-year entry-level contract, he then signed a 2-year deal to play with a team in Sweden in the Swedish Hockey League. Now you might say, how is that possible? I thought he just signed a 3-year ELC with the Canucks. Yes, the Canucks were instrumental in helping basically, not, I wouldn't say broker the deal, but the Canucks certainly lent input. Apparently there are 4 teams that were in on Lekaramaki for the SHL, and he ends up signs with one. I can't remember the name of it now. I just did a vlog about it, but I can't remember the name of it. It must have been, what was it? Osbro? No. Orsbro? I should know this because I did a whole vlog about it. But yes, let me look it up real quick. I have it way. Yeah, it was this morning. I should know these things. Lekaramaki. I'm sure someone's already typed it in the chat. Okay, here it is. He is, I know this makes for really great, content here as I keep scrolling to the start of the day. Orebro, Orebro. So I'll make it up. Sorry for that big long pause there, but yes, What's important about that team? Well, firstly, it's in the Swedish Elite League, the top tier in Sweden, not the Allsvenskan League that he was in last year. When he played in the Allsvenskan League last year, the second best league in Sweden, he had a bad regular season, but he had an amazing playoffs. He had 15 points in 15 games. So now on this Orebro team, there's also the defenseman Elias Pettersson there as well. So Lekaramäki drafted in the first round, 2022 draft. Elias Pettersson drafted in the second round, 2022 draft. And those two guys are now teammates in Sweden, which is pretty cool. And Lekaramäki, it's crazy. He is only 18 years old. He turns 19 in July. I think Pettersson, the defenseman, is a bit older than him. He's already 19. But pretty crazy that, so I don't get to, actually, sorry, Pettersson, the defenseman, was in the third round of the draft, not the second round. But regardless, I don't mind that Lekaramäki is going and playing in Sweden. He signs that 2-year contract, but there's a good chance that he actually comes here after his first year. He even said as much as well. So we'll see what happens. If he takes 2 years to develop in the SHL, gets bigger and stronger and faster, great. If he's ready to come over here after 1 year, great. But this is not a bad thing. The fact that the Canucks had a say, the fact that Patrick Allvin knows the head coach, former Canucks goaltender Johan Hedberg, that's a help, that's a plus. And the fact that Mikael Samuelsson will be there to help out as well. And of course, teammates with DPD. I think it's a good situation for Lekaramäki, and no rush to bring him into the fold. Carol uses her membership message. A member for 19 months. Carol is our newest legend, and she comes in with saying, I would like to thank you for the CCC Crew first, Clay. You're most welcome. And Carol, thank you for your loyal membership, and thank you as well for your support as always. And I hope you're always hoping that you feel that you're getting better every single day. So that's the news about Lekaramäki. Again, a 2-year contract with Orebro, Swedish Elite League, Swedish Hockey League, I should say, top tier. And then we'll see how long he ends up spending over there. The second thing I want to talk about is the conference finals. They start on Thursday. And be honest, I'm not sure if anyone would have guessed that, it would be Florida and Carolina as your Eastern Conference finalists, and Vegas and Dallas as your Western Conference finalists. I've said it a couple times, we were only one game away from having an all-expansion Western Conference final of Vegas and Seattle. I know a lot of people, even in here, don't like Vegas. I don't mind them. I'm not annoyed. I don't think it was unfair how quickly they got to, so successful. I think it just challenges teams like the Canucks to do a little bit better. Having said that, if you watch Canucks After Dark with me and Parker last night, we gave our predictions. My predictions haven't been so good. I was 4 out of 8 in the first round, 1 out of 4 in the second round. So that means I've been 5 out of 12, 5 and 7 over the first 2 rounds. So even if I get these 2 right, I'm only moving to 500. So this is what I'm going to do real quickly. I'm going to put in the chat the first question, the first poll, is going to be, as I'm clicking around here, Justin says only 14 brackets predicted all 12 series correctly. That is crazy. Yeah, so 14 brackets. Wow. And then we have Kempner saying no one would have guessed those conference finals. No, yeah, only 14 people did out of 1 million, which is nuts. And then let's give some more love to Carol. Thank you, legendary Carol Bovenlander, for the donation. Want to take Clay and the CCC Crew, or thank Clay and the CCC Crew for all their prayers and kindness during this really hard time for me. Clay, I wish you and your family a very safe trip. God bless you, and take care. Thank you, Carol, for those fine words. Thank you for the donation. And yes, you know that we have you back. We have your back for sure. So I'm going to give you 1 minute to vote on this. Eastern Conference. Do you think it's going to be the Hurricanes or the Panthers? So let's do this. Vote in the poll if you think it's going to be the Hurricanes or the Panthers that win the Eastern Conference. And then in the chat, tell me as well who's going to win and in how many games. Now, Carolina did beat Florida. We're 20 or 21 points better than them in the regular season standings. I'd say Carolina has an easier road. They knocked off the Islanders, and then they beat a pretty good New Jersey team in 5 games. Whereas we know that Florida knocked off the President Trophy winning Boston Bruins, so the toughest competition of them all, and then they quite relatively easily handled the Toronto Maple Leafs. So even though Carolina seems like the better team on paper maybe, and they certainly were the better team in the regular season, I really like what this Florida team is doing. Remember, they're the President's Trophy winning team last year. So I'm going Panthers in 7. I'm going Panthers in 7. And in the chat, I see Stars in 6. Okay, that's Western Conference, but that's fine. I see Panthers in 6, Panthers in 6, Canes in 6. And then it's interesting, on the poll that I put up, which isn't scientific, it's for obviously anyone who voted, it is actually 50-50. So 20 of the 30 of you in here voted, and it was indeed a 10-10 split. Exciting. Very, very exciting. So I'm saying Panthers in 7. Now out west, we have Dallas. It's funny. Now I'm using first names because Golden Knights is so long to type out. So we have Dallas versus Vegas. So vote in the poll. So it's a nice, easy, scientific way of looking at the numbers. And then put in the chat who you think is going to win this one. Now for this one, I truly thought whoever's going to win between Vegas and Edmonton would win the West because I just think they're that much better. Dallas got past Seattle. I said this in my video today. I really like Vegas's depth. I think Dallas has the edge in goal, Ottinger over Hill, although Hill's been playing very well. On defense, I like Vegas. I like Pietrangelo and Theodore over Heiskanen and his crew. And then for the forwards, I think there's more top-end talent on Vegas. On Dallas, you do have Robertson, hasn't scored a lot. You have Rupe Hintz, and then you have the aging Sagan and Ben and others. But I really like who you have on the Vegas side. You have Jack Eichel, you have Stone, you have Marchessault, you have Smith. Even though I don't like them as players, they're good. You have Carlson, you have Chandler Stevenson, among others. So I think that Vegas is the better team, and I think that Vegas takes the Stars out in 6. I see I might be the minority in the chat. Everyone's saying Dallas in 6, Dallas in 4, Dallas in 6. So I'm not sure if you guys truly think that Dallas is going to win. Or Fangirl says Vegas in 7, or you want Dallas to win. Regardless, that is fine. And in the poll reflects that as well. We have 60% of you saying Dallas, and then only 40% saying it is Vegas. So interesting. Well, and today for the first time, both polls actually added up to 100%. Exciting. Now, last story, and then I'll throw it to all of you. Because remember, today is a shorter show. The city of Tempe held a referendum tonight. And it was basically to give an indication of the future of the Arizona Coyotes. And there was 3 propositions, but they kind of built on one another to basically asking, the bottom line was the question is do you guys want their Arizona Coyotes to stay? And to stay via a brand new arena and entertainment district. Right before, though, I talk about that, I want to recognize Carol, the legend herself, gifting a membership. So thank you, Carol. That amounts to a $5 donation, but it's a double whammy because it means membership for someone. And we welcome back to membership Fillmore Wax. Got to meet Fillmore earlier this year, just last month. here in Vancouver where he was visiting. So welcome to Membership Fillmore, and let's give some love to Carol in the chat for sure. So basically, it was 3 propositions that the people of Tempe, Arizona, voted on. The first one, it says Proposition 301 amends the city's general plan for use of the property, the specific property. Proposition 302, then you got to get permission not only after you change the general plan, permission to rezone, and then the third proposition, 303, this is the big one, provides the Arizona Coyotes the right to develop the 46-acre site for a new arena, an entertainment district, 2 boutique-style hotels, and nearly 2,000 residential units. So it was basically, are we allowed to change? Now we want to rezone, and this is what we want to build. So all 3 votes were pretty similar. About 16,000 people voted. 16,000 people voted for these 3 propositions, and it was basically the same. The first one, can the city of Tempe amend basically? Can they amend their plans for the property? It was 56% no and 44% yes. Then the second proposition was, should we give them permission to rezone it? Again, 56% no, 44% yes. And the third one, the big one, is should the Coyotes have the right to develop this property? 57% no, 43% yes. So there was a few hundred people who actually voted yes on the first 2, but then they voted no for the third one. So I guess the key number, whether you look at 56 or 57%, it is a majority. 57% of voters said no to, basically, they're saying no, they don't want the Coyotes there. We read stories of the yes side only spent $200,000, whereas the no side spent over $2 million in their advertising or trying to convince people, whatever it is. So we can talk about the ramifications maybe another time, but obviously people talk about Quebec, Houston, Kansas City, another team on Ontario. But I think the biggest thing here is obviously Gary Bettman is disappointed, and he expressed so. The CEO of the Arizona Coyotes spoke today, and he spoke. He's obviously very disappointed, and he didn't take any questions. He left. He apparently is visibly shaken up. I didn't watch it. So you have everyone expressing, the 2 main parties, I guess, Gary Bettman of the NHL, and then the owner CEO of the team expressing disappointment. Shannon uses her membership message. Thank you, Shannon. 24 member for 24 months, 2 years. Amazing. The CCC Crew Club is great. And for the Stanley Cup, I want to see the Hurricanes win. Also, I do not know if you heard, but the Canucks are having training camp in Victoria. Might go and see them. Yes, Shannon, they announced that it was either yesterday or over the weekend. Training camp in the 3rd week of September in Victoria. That is awesome. I'm glad they're moving around the province. And Shannon, I think you should go if you have a chance. Thank you for your membership as well. Let's give some love to Shannon for sure. All right, friends, I'll do my mid-show sponsor read, and then I'm going to turn it over to you. You can talk about Lekaramaki. You can talk about the next, the conference finals and explain to me why you chose who you chose. Or you can talk about this whole Arizona Coyotes fiasco and what you think is going to happen from it. But first, shout out to my primary sponsor, Van City Experts Real Estate. Contact Jason Lemena's team for all of your real estate needs. Shout out to my secondary sponsor, Perform and Transform, personal training and weight loss. Check out their services at ptform.com. Thank you to Gassy Jet Art, maker of this fine artwork. Thank you to Monkey Nine Brewing, my eternal sponsor. And thank you to Vessi Footwear. Use the link, tinyurl.com/VessiClay, and receive a free pair of socks off of your next Vessi purchase. While you're here, you can certainly subscribe. You can like the video. You can leave a donation like Lucas and Carol have done. You can gift memberships like Carol has done. You can become a member. You can upgrade your membership. But most importantly, get active in the chat section. And then if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review as well. And by the way, anyone who entered my playoff pool, I will be sending out an update probably tomorrow sometime with the second, with the standings after the second round, now that is complete. So Now I'm going to turn it over to you. And whatever you want to talk about, I can only go until 11:40 at the absolute latest. So we'll go for the next 15 or 20 minutes. And I'd love to hear what you have to say about anything. Lekaramaki, the conference finals, or the fiasco in Arizona. Let's get going right now. Yeah, Shannon, family flies tomorrow morning. I fly tomorrow night. The CEO spoke from a cracked basement with wicker furniture and cigarette burn couch with 3 mics and cell phones going off. Nice. Not very professional. I am gone, and I come back Tuesday night. So I'm gone for basically a whole week from Wednesday till Tuesday. Yeah, Justin, my shirt, Mary's Meals. This is an organization founded overseas in Europe, and they have some offices now in Canada. But they're an organization started by a Catholic, hence Mary's Meals, and they're one of those organizations that they try to make sure that every student in a developing country gets at least one healthy meal at school. So it's the wonderful organization. I've done some work with them. We hosted Matt Maher, a famous Christian musician. We did a concert with him last fall, and basically I can't remember the number, but I believe it's for $30 a year. Oh, I don't want to say the wrong thing. I should know this. I knew all these numbers like half a year ago, but I know that the number that you can pledge monthly is pretty reasonable, pretty low, and it feeds a child one meal a day for their entire school year. So this is a charity called Mary's Meals that I've done some work with. So thank you for asking, Justin. Clay, are you going with your son for him to bowl for Team Canada? So yeah, there are 2 trips, Carol. This trip tomorrow is to Ontario, Sault Ste. Marie, so Northern Ontario, and it's national. So Jacob and Kayla, they both won their divisions. They are representing BC and bowling against other Canadian bowlers. That's tomorrow, right? And this weekend. Then and then me and Gail are going. I'm going to basically hang out with Jake, not hang out, but be there for Jacob, and Gail's going to be there for Kayla. We're going to be there for each other, but you know what I mean. And then in July, that's Peru. That's the World Championships, where Jacob's only one of 4 bowlers who represent Team Canada. So as much as Jake, and especially Kayla, who's never been a for nationals, of course, I want them to do well and do their best, of course. And Jake should win, and Kayla should medal. But I think the bigger trip is obviously the World Championships in Peru, where Jacob's only one of 4 boys representing the entire country as opposed to the province. And Gail and I are going on that trip with Jacob. Another thing that's problematic is Arizona's HL team, Tucson. I never thought about that. Thank you. Would I do 11th overall for Lafreniere, or would you have had Beauville or Garland to make it work money-wise? I'm not sure if I do 11th for Laffy. And I definitely don't do 11th and 11th plus for Laffy. I don't mind Lafreniere, but I don't... I know he's a first overall pick, though, but you can't think like that. You know, I would consider 11th for Lafreniere, but I wouldn't go 11th plus for Lafreniere. How's that? If you think about it, Kraken really proved if you get in, anything can happen. And Dallas proving retooling can work. Yeah, every situation is different, but Seattle isn't just they got in and saw what happened. They were a really good team throughout the regular season. Shannon, I was able to work out stuff and go back to the Hall of Fame. Like Hall of Fame in Toronto? You were there recently? Or did I miss something else? Regardless, that's cool. If it is, did I see Clayton Keller's tweet? I did. Sad emoji indeed. Oh, you can always talk about how good looking I am, BCBC Twitch. Always, always. Oh, I'm so stupid, Shannon. I'm so stupid. You're talking about membership. That is great. Shannon and I were going back and forth earlier this week, and Shannon said she might have to downgrade her membership. And I said, that's cool, Shannon. Do it. Take care of what you need to take care of. So when you're talking about Hall of Fame, I thought you were talking about the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto. Shannon, you are staying at Hall of Fame membership. That is awesome. And I'm glad you can make it work. But just, Shannon, do what you need to do. You are the priority, of course, not me. But thank you for your generosity and your support. If Arizona Coyotes move to Toronto and Toronto having 2 teams, do you think it's a good idea or bad idea? Instead of having 2 teams in Southern Ontario, I think you can go to a different city. and get another market involved. Should Oil and Garland be happy about not dealing with relocation? Well, yeah, well, it depends, I guess, where they end up relocating, but I think that's an added stress that no one wants, for sure. Oh, you met Scott Fox. That's awesome. You're meeting everyone out there, Shannon. Good for you. That's awesome. Imagine if we trade Meyer such cap relief. Yeah, $6 million. I've always said I'd be fine with Hronik, Bear, and Jet Wu or someone. Is it fair to say Quebec City won't be getting the Coyotes if they relocate due to the league's like of line divisions and no East teams will want to be in the West? I wouldn't say that divisional alignment will be the deciding factor, Fangirl, because if Quebec comes in, then maybe do you flip another team back? Do you bring Detroit back to the West? I know it's not the best, but I'm sure it is a factor, but I don't know if it's going to be the deciding factor, to be honest. I really think the Coyotes should go Quebec Nordiques get another team, but like some other people saying on air, Bettman would not let us have another Canadian team. Yeah, I don't know if it's... Is it that he doesn't want another Canadian team? I think if a market proves itself, it might be fine. Did you bowl growing up or something you took up later on, say college age? Yeah, I've always bowled since I was little, but I was never a competitive bowler. Certainly nothing like my kids are. The kids started pretty early, all, Sean and Jacob when they were 13, 14, 15, and then Kayla even earlier because she's only 15 right now. But no, I bowled casually for sure, and I was decent. I was better, above average for a casual bowler, but never a competitive bowler. Tyler says he's got some very sad news, so I will wait till I see it. Lucas, I think if this club goes to Houston, the team should be rechristened as the Houston Aeros. The Rockets owner has money ready to spend. Gotcha. Yes, I know we talked about the Arrows before, for sure. Raptors got the 13th pick. Not any good luck. That's right. The draft lottery was today. Kirby Doc went 13 and number 66. Or 41366. So I think number 11 for Laugh is fair if we feel he's not a bust. People thought Jack Hughes was an early bust until this year. Yeah. The people who thought Jack Hughes was an early bust, I don't know how you can say that. That's why you don't say it after just 1 or 2 years. How long are you guys going to be gone? Thank you. All the best. Be safe. I have an idea when you're coming back for a stream. All right, Carol, let me know that idea, and I get back on Tuesday night. Tyler, heard from last night, one of my high school friends took her own life. That is very sad. That is very sad. Took his own life. Yeah, that is very sad no matter what age. And feel for you, Tyler. That's very difficult. How would Houston work in the Central if they're 2 hours ahead of Arizona? Well, you don't have to be in the same time zone. Vancouver and the Alberta teams have proven that. So, yeah, you just make it work. Just like how Detroit was in the Western Conference for a while, and they're 3 hours ahead. Who do I want the Canucks to draft at 11? Kempner, I would love it if they still got one of the centers at 11. I know like Smith isn't going to fall that deep, but I'm not convinced that I'm not convinced, and I talked about this with Parker last night. I'm not convinced that the two right shot defensemen, Reinbacher and how do you say it? Pelika? No, I should know this too. Pelika. I think some people say sending Pelika, but I've heard sending Pelika. I don't think any of those two guys. A lot of guys are saying that maybe they're going to get overpicked because they're right shot D. We know that the top five, presuming Michkov's in there, is going to be Bedard, Fantilli, Carlson, Michkov, and Smith. There are some centers. There's Nate Danielson. There's Oliver Moore from the U.S. team. So those are two guys. Brendan Yager, even, and Dalibor Dvorsky. So among those four, I don't know anything about them. I just read a list, but I do think you go for a center as opposed to a winger. Hello, Rick. If you were to do a 32-team NHL from scratch, where would you put teams? I don't have time to go through it today. I think that's a great question for another stream where I have more time. But I would do maybe 3/4 of where they are now. And then I would add a couple more Canadian teams, like maybe Quebec, maybe one in the Maritimes, but I'm not sure about that. And then I would go Houston because it's such a large market. Maybe Portland even to add more. No need to apologize, Tyler. That is very sad news about your friend, for sure. Clay, what is your thoughts on this upcoming season with Vancouver? I'm hopeful. I'm always hopeful, but I do hope that they will. They'll have a much better season. Depends on Demko's health for sure. Trade proposal between Chicago and Toronto. Marner and Murray to Chicago for Drew Comesso, Frank Nazar, Lucas Reichel, 19th overall pick would be a blockbuster. Marner and Bedard would be sick. They would be. I just don't know if Chicago's. I think it's going to take an amazing, amazing offer. Chicago has no reason to trade that first overall pick. Do you like Vegas? I sure don't. I don't mind them. Truly, I don't mind them. Devastated. Really talked to him, hung up. Yeah, of course. It still hurts, especially because he's so young. Not going to lie. Is your dad a sports player? If your dad is a sports player and very good, LeBron, you're going to get more attention. Yeah. The name carries a lot for sure. Kelowna, BC would be a cool location. Edmonton, New Brunswick, or Cheyenne, Wyoming. Yes, all good places. I've only been to Kelowna of those three. Bedman said years ago they already have the Canadian market. They want the U.S. market to be successful. So that's it. That's it for Canada. No more. Saw him in person last year. Seemed okay. Yeah, you never know what someone is going through for sure. Yeah, it's very sad. It's very sad. What veteran players do you think the Vancouver Canucks get? They have no money, DSS. I'm not convinced that they're really going to go after a lot of veteran UFAs. They're probably going to go for some more mid-range younger guys. Another donation from legendary Lucas Gates. Thank you, Lucas. Appreciate it. Saying that Houston's only 2-hour drive to Dallas, same time zone. Yes, that would make sense if Houston just simply plops into the Central Division, replacing Arizona. I've heard that Detroit won't want to go back to the West. They fought too hard to be in the East. So in my opinion, Quebec City is unlikely. That's fair. Maybe it's not Detroit. Maybe it's, I don't know who else is the westmost team though. No need to apologize about your Wi-Fi. Why? What happened? For the playoffs, I don't care much right now. Just want to see who wins the cup. That's fair. Saskatoon needs an NHL game as they support theirs. Yes, they do. That's why Rough Rider fans travel so well. Do I think Michkov falls? I'm torn on this one. At first, I didn't think so. I'm hearing more people talk about it, but I think it's admittedly it's just kind of wishful thinking. Massive donation from Carol. Massive $22 donation from the legend herself, Carol Bovenlander. Says, Clay, there's some money for you and your family for traveling, snacks on the plane, or even a Pepsi. I pray that you're all safe and you have a wonderful time. And thank you. Let's give some love to Carol in the chat. Thank you. It's very generous of you. You certainly don't, Carol. I want you to save your money and worry about your own situation. But the fact that you are giving, I appreciate it very much. Okay, guys, I only got 5 minutes left, so I'm going to rip through. And I know you guys don't like it when I go too fast, but I still want to honor. So maybe I'm not judging which comments are better, but I might not get to all of them. Oliver Moore was in the top 8 for O. Nyquist. Okay, so then that's good if we get him then, right? People offering their ear to Tyler, which is awesome. You'd keep a team in Phoenix. How? People offering their ear to, that's so good. Team back in Atlanta. By the way, I saw a game in Atlanta when Ovechkin was a rookie. So I saw the Capitals versus the Thrashers. Other than the Sedins, have the Canucks traded up or down in the first round? Well, good question. I don't think so. And if they did, it wasn't a blockbuster of any sort for sure. No, I do not see Austin Matthews on the Canucks. Can I do a longer stream soon? Depends what you mean by longer. I think an hour on Sunday is already pretty good, But if you're talking about 2 or 3 hours, I did one game. Maybe I'll do one game in the playoffs. We'll see. What does the restricted and non-restricted? If you're talking about free agents, basically restricted means the team has control. They have the first dibs to sign you. So you can't become an unrestricted free agent until you've played 6 years. So in your 7th year, you can be until you played 7 years with the team. So that's why, for instance, Pettersson's first contract was 3 years. After that, he becomes a restricted free agent. So we signed him 3 years, and then now. Well, hopefully his next contract is another 8 years. So then we have him for 14 years, 3 + 3 + 8. Whereas if a guy doesn't want to stay here, he'll only sign a 1 year. Like basically, he'll leave after his 7th year. So restricted free agent means the team has control and first dibs and signing him. An unrestricted free agent means they've played 7 seasons and they can go wherever they want. Speaking of Texas, San Antonio won the NBA draft lottery. Yes. I have not seen any clips of him. I've only seen his name, so I will look those up for sure. Oh, Rick, you've already done your 32 NHL team. Nice. Tell me some of the picks, although I do have to get off in the next 2 or 3 minutes for sure. Edmund's caring more about the Lakers. Yeah, when someone takes their own life, it is very sad. You're often left wondering, I agree, Jason, what you could do. But it's just tough. It's just more of a reminder for us to not presume anything about anyone. And there's nothing wrong with checking on people for sure. See you later, DSS. What line do you think Podkolzin will play on next year? I think a third line. I'd be fine with him and Hoglander, honestly, but you got to find a center. But I don't think he gets into the top 6. I think he's a third line player. You think Canucks would have benefit trading the 10th pick that we used for Hodgson for Mike Camilleri? Yeah, Edmund. You know how much I don't like doing hypotheticals, and especially hypotheticals from 15 years ago, because you can just build a case for anything you want, basically. So. It's tough to say. When the Hughes contract ends, he will still be in his prime, so we have to spend big money on him. Yes, but I think the thought was his team would be better, faster. So the hope is to be good while he's still in that second contract. Yeah, I like it when DSS says bye as well. 2-hour stream, maybe watch the third and then normal stream talk after. Yeah, that's a good idea. And I think there were a couple times where I was going to do it, but then the third period stunk. And I think the game ended too early. And then I had to do other stuff before I came back from my late night stream. But those are great suggestions. All right, friends. I should probably wrap up here because by the time I'm done, it'll be about the 41 minute mark. I will not be streaming from Ontario. Just with the time difference and everything, and I want my focus obviously to be on my 2 kids and Gail when I'm there. But if any Canucks news or NHL news breaks, I will at least do a short video on it. But this could be the last. This could be the last stream for about a week or so. Maybe I'll pop in for a quick one as a surprise or a spontaneous one. But I'm not counting on it. So enjoy your break from me. And I hope you find other ways to fill this time slot. But you know how much I appreciate you guys always. But yes, definitely. Very good, Jason. I guess the guy. No, DSS is always here. Yeah, who's that guy? Yeah, I remember. Well, yeah, the guy that hated when I was talking about bowling. I remember that. That was pretty funny. So thanks, everyone. Once again, moderators, thank you. It looks like you didn't have too much to do, but I appreciate your presence. Thank you to all the members, legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Justin Credible, legendary Carol Bovenlander, legendary Andrew Chang. Thanks to franchise members as well. Thanks to Hall of Fame members for your support. Also, thank you to everyone who donated, and that was Lucas, that was Carol, that was Lucas, and that was Carol. So two donations each. Then a membership message from Shannon. membership message from Carol, and then also a gift membership from Carol that went to Film or Wax. So a lot of activity for sure. Rome, I'm sure you will have, you'll be fine. By the way, okay, let's do this. 2 minutes max. Whether they're fictional or non-fictional, funny or serious, put in the chat right now what you're going to do now at 11 o'clock every night for the next week. It can be funny. It can be serious. I'll highlight a few on the way out. What are you going to do now with your free time at 11 p.m. every single night? Put it in the chat, and then we'll go. I'll highlight a few of them right before I go. But thanks to my sponsors, Van City Experts, Real Estate, Perform and Transform, Personal Training and Weight Loss. And as always, on your way out, you can leave a donation, become a member, upgrade your membership, gift a membership. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. I'm not going to highlight Jason's. You can see it yourself. Film or Wax says sleep. Tyler's going to watch Fire Country. Taylor is probably sleep or watch some YouTube vids and get ready for bed. Okay, good. Anything else? Heco drug. I'm not sure what that means. And I know you use talk to text. I'm trying to spell it out. Heco drug. Heco drug. Got nothing. Check out Tyler Behind the Camera's YouTube channel. Yes, you guys can check out each other's YouTube channels for sure. Rewatch some old Clay videos, of course, from 15 years ago. Oh, yeah, that's when my YouTube channel started. Indigo, you might have some fun with that. Some early videos with my family when my kids were pretty young. Those are pretty funny, actually. Actually, go and watch the Emo Hockumentary. Look up Emo Hockumentary. That one's a lot of fun because the boys are very young. All right, some really good ideas there, except for Jason's. But that's and then Kempner, I like that. Pray for Carol and for others in our community who need it. That is a wonderful way to end off this stream. Okay, everyone, I'm gonna go. So as always, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Thank you for being here, and wish us luck. Oh, by the way, last thing. WestJet did issue 72-hour strike notice, but not effective till Friday. So we can get to Ontario just fine. I just got to figure out how we're going to get back, but I'll worry about that when I'm there. They either have to fully refund us or find us new flights within 48 hours of our original flights. So who knows? Maybe I'll be in Toronto for 2 extra days, or get a full refund and then fly home on another airline. Now, for sure, stay safe, stay healthy. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. And this is kind of personal, but I said to Gail last week, I said to her, sometimes your underwear is too tight and very revealing. And Gail said to me, then wear your own underwear. God bless. Yeah. I'll leave that one with you for a week. God bless and go Canucks go. Booyah.